look on my phone. I got that, oh, your password's invalid. Can you re-enter your password? And I was like,
nope.
I was like, is there something wrong? Like, I wrote G, and I was like, is there something going on?
Oh, surprise!
Like,
actually, your credentials have been revoked.
He's like, no, why? I'm like, can I stay longer? Should I come back? Like, should I just bother at all?
Should I extend my flight?
That's how it was in radio. Like, if you got fired, all of a sudden your name's off the website and your key card doesn't work. And it's like, oh.
And you tried to use it.
All right. Like, yeah, why don't you go up to the front desk? We'll come in for a meeting. I've never gone into the front desk before. Okay. That's how you would find out for it.
Cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, we're restructuring.
Yeah.
And you're not in the structure.
Yeah.
So.
And you're no longer part of this. Here's your package. Please leave.
God, we were just
and
talking
never come
about
back.
that, too.
All right. That's a depressing
The
way to start.
messages you get.
Yeah, right. Can you come see me in my office, please?
You're like, no.
I think we're being quiet because the door is open in here. I think we're all like being affected by this.
We just don't want Dan.
Not at
That's
all.
true. Behind the scenes, we're
What?
doing
Get
some
outta
filming
here,
in
man.
here. All right, we are live right now. Hello, everyone. This is Trends with Benefits. This is our weekly Roundtable Tech podcast where we talk about the trending topics of the week and lots of other things. We're broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube right now, and we have a lot of stuff to get to today. I want to bring up what the main question is that we brought up, and that is our overall question today is, do you prefer Spotify or Apple Music for your streaming music service? I feel like this is turning into almost an Apple versus Android kind of debate. It's getting to that point because I didn't realize how big Apple Music was, and quite frankly, it's big. It's like 36 million people I think have subscribed to it right now. So we're gonna talk about that, and we've got some other stuff to get to. We're gonna talk about the Apple Watch, a new passenger drone that you may be able to take a ride on at some point, and we're gonna start off with SpaceX here in just a minute because I can't not talk about that. It's all I've been obsessed with all week long, watching that over and over. So let us know your thoughts, your comments, your questions there on Facebook and YouTube, and let's introduce our cast of characters here. I'm Greg Nibbler, and to my right,
I am Rick Stella, outdoor editor for Digital Trends.
hello, Rick.
I'm Marie Pardo-Garber, one of the IT people here.
And I'm Drew Prindle, the emerging technologies editor.
Yes, indeed. Wow, we've got a lively group. I think we all need like shots of caffeine or something in here. So let's talk about this really quick before we get into Spotify versus Apple Music. And I see a lot of comments coming in, and there's some other people who use different services on there. Let's talk about, though, this week, Elon Musk, SpaceX. How awesome was that? That's my question.
Amazing. That's seriously, I'm still just jazzed.
Just like, look at this picture. Like, what?
Yeah, we're showing pictures of the Roadster in space, and I have a lot of friends who don't follow a lot of, keep up to date with a lot of technology, and I was telling them, I'm like, no, Elon Musk is going to try to launch a car into space. And they're like, no, he's not. No, that's not real.
Like the day we get touchscreen phones.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's not real.
Yeah,
and then even some people that saw these pictures and just assumed they were photoshopped.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this happened. This is what he did.
Stanley Kubrick is alive and well.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think it's one of those things that I like it just because I do love space exploration and just the technology behind it. But just also, I think it's finally reinvigorating everybody to understand what's been going on, especially in the private sector. Because we don't see there's not a lot of coverage about what happens with that. We see it. If you're into technology, probably if you're watching this show, you see it. But a lot of other people outside of that don't follow along with it. And this finally put it in everybody's faces about what is going on with it.
I think SpaceX has done a great job of basically reigniting everybody's love for like space travel because like rocket launches happen.
Yeah.
But we just don't hear about them. They've done a great job of like just being super public about all of it and hyping up everything. And I mean, you saw it during this. They had an awesome broadcast team.
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
they know that people are watching, and they're doing God's work and like basically making space exploration like exciting again.
I know. I was watching that broadcast. I'm like, why can't Trends with Benefits be there?
Dude, it was so
broadcast team. I'm like, we could do it.
It was seamless. I was just as impressed with that as I was the rockets landing at the same time. That was crazy.
Everything was so crisp and on point, and they knocked it out of the park. I mean, even the rockets, the two booster rockets landing back down on the ground, it looked fake because it was done so well.
Careful what you say.
I know, exactly. It was not. That's not where I'm going with that to emphasize. No, I'm just saying it was just such a crisp thing, and I'm curious to see where they're going to go from here. Mm-hmm. Like, what are his plans with the Falcon X rockets now?
I mean, so almost immediately when they had the press conference after the launch and landing, where they landed 2 out of the 3 booster cores. Basically, right away, Elon started talking about the BFR, which is SpaceX's like next generation, even bigger rocket. Like Falcon Heavy was like basically 3 times bigger than Falcon 9, their first
And does BFR stand for
Big Falcon rocket?
Yes, it does.
Big Falcon rocket. Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
Sure, yeah,
the BFG rocket.
That's the working title, but they've been referring to it as that, so I think it's going to stick. They're just going to keep calling it that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's even bigger. It's going to be able. They're calling it like an interplanetary launch vehicle, so they're going to be able to do moon missions with it, and potentially get us to Mars, which is Elon Musk's like ultimate goal in all of this.
Yeah, is to get to Mars because he said he wants to die on Mars, right?
I mean, he kind of
basically.
So he's like, if you can pick your way, like how you go out, like why not die on Mars?
I mean.
Yeah,
I mean, crazy in all the right ways.
Like kind of halfway expecting him to be like in the trunk of the car or like on the rocket.
Surprise!
Like hey, I'm Elon Musk. I'm calling you from the Tesla, but
and well, we'll see what happens then now with SpaceX. Obviously, he's probably going to get a lot of interest from the business side as far as people wanting to invest in it. But it is just a really, really exciting time to actually see something like this happening for space exploration. So obviously, you can read all about it at digitaltrends.com, everything that's going on with SpaceX, and see those pictures. But also with Tesla, as far as the Tesla side of it, there is a lot going on with that too. I mean, the guy is either he's obviously a crazy genius. I don't know whether he's good or evil yet. We haven't figured that out. But if this were a movie, I wouldn't be sure yet. But for Tesla, one of the things that they are planning, he's been working on the autonomous side of that, and they are planning. Finally, I guess a letter went out to investors saying that they're planning on a coast-to-coast autonomous drive with a Tesla vehicle to prove that the autonomous side of it does work. This does come on the heels of about a week ago when one of them crashed into a fire truck.
I missed that.
Yeah, one of them actually. So this happened in California. A Tesla vehicle crashed into a fire truck that was in the turnout lane, not the turnout lane, but what's the emergency lane? So this doesn't really sound. The driver is blaming Tesla for it,
of course.
But he was going 65 miles an hour and crashed into a parked fire truck with lights on, and crashed into the back of it. Nobody was hurt, but yeah, he's saying no. Tesla's autonomous software should have taken over, which in a way it should have. But also, you're going 65 miles an hour in the emergency lane, and you didn't see a fire truck. So I don't know if you can entirely blame that.
I don't care how autonomous the car is. It's going to take a while for me to just be able to like sit back, read the newspaper, and not pay attention to what my car is doing.
Yeah,
as it's going 70 miles an hour too. You're like, we're good.
I think it could be an easy slide into that though. Like first couple weeks, you get it. You're really careful. Then you get used to it, and you're just
I'm good. Right. Well, we'll see. So he said that the investing group is going to be. He said that to the investing group that they are going to be doing this year, trying out the coast-to-coast autonomous drive with a Tesla. So if you see one out there, that could be it.
Because they're doing the trucks too, the semi-trucks too. Right?
Yep, the semi-trucks as well are going to be coming. Those are already on order for people. But I think they have a driver, and then it is autonomous to a certain extent.
Sure.
Right, and then if the idea is you can team up multiple trucks, and then they could just basically tailgate each other.
Like platoon.
Yeah, platoon on.
Can you imagine getting stuck behind that?
Right.
Yeah,
like, is that
exactly.
17 trucks?
Exactly. That's what the kind of thing that it could be.
The interesting thing about that is I just read a story Tuesday. A startup in San Francisco just announced that they completed a coast-to-coast autonomous semi-trip.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting to see if Tesla's compares to that one.
Yeah, where it's going to
go just ended yesterday, right? Or something like that.
Well, I think we're going to see a lot more of it this year, just in the autonomous vehicle side of it, from everybody. I mean, because it's not just Tesla. It's obviously it's Uber. It's all these other companies that are trying to get into it. Let's get on to a couple other topics. So we're going to get back to talking about. I want to talk about the passenger drone here in a little bit and whether or not you would fly in that. But let's get to the Spotify versus Apple Music issue, and that's one that I've seen it heat up a lot more this week, and especially earlier this week, it was a big topic. As far as which one people use, I am definitely a Spotify person. I use Spotify. I enjoy the platform. I enjoy what it's using. Right now, Spotify has about 70 million users, 70 million subscribers, but I think they're claiming it's like more like 140 million users because people team up on accounts. Right. Apple, it has about 36 million, but Apple is growing at double the rate. Apple Music is in the U.S. growing at double the rate.
Spotify also still has a free version of
They do have a free version. And seeing some of the comments, so I want to get onto these here. Hyatt says, Spotify, Apple Music sucks. That's what I mean. That's where I'm seeing there's going to be a whole debate about this. Scott says Pandora Plus.
Pandora Plus, shout out.
I did kind of forget about Pandora on that. And so
you're not
that's
alone.
Probably wrong. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that just kind of skipped over Pandora and
Google Music too, right?
Yeah. Google Music also another one. Yeah, I'm seeing Leo says Google. Hyatt also says, I have an iPhone 10 and still use Spotify. So Gareth, however, says Apple Music is better for personalized content, but Spotify is better for recommending music or pre-made playlists.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I like about Spotify is like, those curated playlists, the Discover Weekly that you get every, I guess that's automated, not curated, but still, like they do a very good job of,
and your daily mixes too. It's like here's like based on all these different genres. Here's 3 different mixes based on like what you want to listen to.
So which ones do you guys use?
I use Spotify.
You use Spotify, and you're an Apple user, right?
Yep, Apple phone. I used Apple Music forever too, and I just switched over to Spotify.
So how
nice it is?
Why is it that you left Apple Music?
Well, honestly, my subscription ran out, and and I had a gift card for Spotify.
Okay,
but Spotify is way better. It's way faster and just like easier to use. I think it's like way more intuitive than Apple Music.
Yeah.
Can you do the same thing on Apple Music where you like download songs for like offline playback?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
But it just Spotify came out with that, and that was a game changer.
Right, yeah. Now I'm on the airplane, I can listen to stuff. Apple Music would take forever to load a song, though, for me. Like, for some reason, it just is always so slow, and Spotify is just, like, quick. Like, every single time I click on something, it plays it right away.
Yeah.
So, Marie, what about you?
So I use Spotify now. I used to use Google Music for a little bit. And then I also got a Spotify gift card.
So you've kind of tried everything a little bit.
Yes. I haven't used Apple Music since for a while.
For a while.
So I'm not a great judge of how it is now. I do know one thing that I have seen a lot of, comparing it in Spotify at least, is the UI of it, where they said that Apple Music is more like you get to see, like going to a record store or CD, like a music store, and you can like go and pick out see the album artwork, you can kind of organize everything the way you want it to.
Right.
Where Spotify is very like cut and dry, like here are songs.
Yeah.
Like, here's a list. Pick through it.
Yeah.
I like that, though, kind of, because it's just like, I'm there just to listen to music. If I want to go to a record store to flip through music, I'll go to a record store to flip through music like, physically, you know?
Yeah, welcome to Portland.
Yeah, right, exactly. I just like the way, like, I like the user interface on Spotify way more than Apple Music. I got used to Apple Music just because I used it for so long, but, like, when I switched over to Spotify, I was like, holy shit, like, how did it take me so long to get back to use Spotify? You know?
Yeah.
So Spotify overall, it sounds like, here at this table, this is the one that we're using.
Oh, no, dude, I've been on Spotify for
Been on Spotify.
Okay.
You also got the gift card, too?
Chris,
no, actually, I go in with my roommates. It's like $3 a month.
Right,
It's like
it's so cheap,
cheap if you
Dirt
have
cheap.
few friends. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I just did it because like I had Spotify forever when it first came out, and then when Apple Music came out, I was like interested in trying it and like did like the free 3 months or whatever, and then just like kept paying the $10 a month. And I had like a credit card get like compromised or whatever, so like that payment option just stopped in Apple Music, and I was like, well, I do have this like year of gift card stuff for Spotify, so I might as well try it out.
Yeah.
well, I think there's a couple of things. I mean, what you said, like discovering new music, I think it definitely does help with Spotify. Something though, if somebody's really involved in the quality, there is still Tidal. Tidal is still out there.
Is there though?
I subscribed to it for like a week after Prince died, and I used the free trial.
You know,
because
I think
Prince was the only place you could get Prince, at least at the time.
I think Keith Nelson, who's a writer for Digital Trends, I think he actually has a Tidal subscription, and that's what he uses as his streamer.
But I mean, if you're really into high quality audio, because that's one of the advantages of Tidal, right?
Yeah.
It's real high end as far as what you're streaming. So if that's what you're going for, that's probably what it is. For me, I'm just listening to it on headphones on my phone. So it really doesn't.
I'd love to be into high end stuff, but I'm just not.
I'd like to.
I don't have good enough speakers or headphones to really pull it off. It's just
I don't listen to good enough stuff to do that either.
Yeah, just being honest with myself, it's not gonna.
But then if you did, would you be able to really notice like the little differences? You know, I don't know if we really would. I'd have to hear them side by side.
I think after a while, if you get used to listening to something in like really high quality and listen to the same song on another platform, you could probably hear.
You pick out the discrepancies.
You can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Well,
that's true.
And that's and I am curious. For anybody listening at home, that was watching on Facebook and YouTube at least right now. That was our question. Is do you prefer Spotify or Apple Music, or do you use another service? And letting us know which ones you use in that. Spotify for me, it's just become so easy that's why I'm using it. So curious to see what other services are out there other than we do have a couple Pandoras.
Does anybody use the Pirate Bay? Is anybody still pirating music out there? Like, I know that was like a big thing back before these streaming services
LimeWire.
came out.
LimeWire, yes. Yeah, LimeWire, absolutely.
Like, I feel like everybody I used to know would just download songs illegally. Like, any new album came out, they were on it.
Yeah.
But, like, now that it's such a pain in the ass to go and like, you know, you got to download the BitTorrent thing, you got to use a VPN so that they don't know your IP and all this stuff. It's just too much of a hassle. Whereas now you can just pay like $3 and have access to all of all in the world.
Or just come and do it at work like everybody else does.
Streaming the Tom York album for 2 years.
People torrent stuff at work here.
That's the IT department letting us know about
Ben was uploading a Tom York album for like 3 years or something.
He just didn't realize he was seeding it.
Yeah, seeding it.
For like 3 years, it's seeded.
Jason is saying no love for iHeart Music. Can you pick your own songs?
iHeart
Radio's app. I didn't know that.
Similar to maybe Pandora, right? You can't pick your own songs.
Yeah, somebody works for Clear Channel. I'm gonna guess.
Which this is funny. That
I don't know that for sure. No, you're right. I have not tried that one.
But if Apple's getting so big, it's funny that the four of us here all use Spotify.
And that's it. And it's growing at twice the rate of what Spotify is. So
what if they're just folding customers in somehow with like you get a new phone, you get Apple Music.
Well, don't you have to use Apple Music to like put stuff on your phone anyway? Isn't that like what iTunes has become?
Is now Apple Music, right?
So I don't know. I haven't been in the Apple ecosystem for a while, so I haven't either. Out of touch. But
I mean, my Spotify subscription is going to run out soon, so
we'll have to
make the jump. Don't make the jump.
It'd probably be something else.
Well, that is where we are at. Okay, so keep dropping your comments in on Facebook and YouTube, and we will take a look at those as we go through. A couple more things I wanted to get to. Talking about Apple with the Apple Watch, and this is part of something that we know they've been working on for a while. Is they want to kind of grow the Apple Watch into a health device in addition to what it already does. I mean, obviously, it's already monitoring your heartbeat as it is. And something that was just announced today, I think this was by Cardiogram, which is an app that helps develop these kinds of things as far as health devices and health apps. They said that the Apple Watch was able to diagnose up to 85% accuracy people who had diabetes. So if you had diabetes, just using the Apple Watch, they were able to scan and be able to tell that you had it.
How did they do that?
So
what data were they pulling?
So apparently, if you have diabetes, your heart rate, there's some kind of different thing that happens with your heart rate.
Okay.
And it goes into the medical side of it. You can read about it at digitaltrends.com. I am trusting their study on that part.
Greg is not a doctor.
I am not a doctor. If you're looking to me for medical advice, that's probably a terrible idea. But no, they'll detect irregular heart rates, and I guess that's something that a person with diabetes has. Sure. That is a pretty amazing advancement. If we can turn the Apple Watch into something like this.
Like if you can, and realistically, the technology has been around for a while, but to have the integration into an Apple Watch, something that people will wear every day,
right?
That's the exciting part. If they can integrate that into to the phones, if you can detect like arrhythmias, hypertension, like any serious affliction like that, and then have it tie in and be like, oh, if you were, you're diabetic and your blood pressure drops too much, it'll call somebody or it'll do something for you. That's, I think, the most exciting part about that.
Yeah, I mean, because right now I'm not a digital watch user. It's not my market. Yeah. I'm not that interested in it for me personally. I know a lot of people are, but I haven't found a whole lot of reasons. But using it for something like that is both good and bad. I don't know if I'd want to. I'd probably be so paranoid. I'd constantly be looking at it like, do I have diabetes now? Yeah, I mean, or whatever.
You're eating like another Twinkie.
No. Yeah, actually, maybe it'd be good for me. Like, put it down, monitor.
Nope, still good.
Yeah, am I all right? But no, I mean, there's so many different valuable things that you could use that for. Does anybody in here use a digital watch?
I have.
Drew. Okay, I figured Drew might be.
Not today.
I have a Fitbit.
Yeah, I can see one right now.
But when I was reviewing, but it's fine. I'm kind of with you guys though. I'm not really on board with it too much. I use it here and there. The one thing I don't like to do is I don't like to have to charge my watch.
Yeah. That's why I didn't wear mine today. Actually.
Yeah. I don't mind them though, but I'm still kind of a traditional watch. Myself. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we're at with that. So I think that's a pretty cool advancement, and to see where that goes. I'm curious out there, for those of you watching live, like, is this something that would make you more interested in having one of those? And I see from Edward, if the Apple Watch could track my blood sugar level, I would buy one today.
They're really getting into that entire like health aspect of it too with the Apple Watch. It seemed like with the second generation, they're like really harping on like the fitness aspect of it, the health aspect of it. Like that's a huge avenue to jump into for people who are like, oh, like I need an Apple Watch because this can track everything that I do and let you monitor it and track it over the course of weeks and months.
They got to do something to get people to buy them.
Right.
They're definitely not flying off the shelves like they were.
Unlike Fitbit, who might not be happy that Apple's starting to move into their market.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and this is Fitbit's like first actual like smart watch. Usually they just made like just random like trackers.
Yeah.
And it's just like any other Fitbit, but it's like their response to Apple's.
It'll be interesting to see how Apple markets the new watches, if they market them solely for the health purposes.
Right.
Because I think most people you talk to now recognize Fitbit is like what the wearable you get if you want to know about your
Track fitness. Right.
Not
and Apple's is like, oh, I want to respond to my text messages.
Yeah. I have an iPhone. I'm going to get an iWatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's for me. Like, why? I mean, again, I'm not the market for it right now, but I mean, I'm going to pull out my phone anyway. So why wouldn't I just send the text on there? But that's that's a whole different debate about digital watches, and I totally understand there's some advantages to it. There was a poll up on Twitter as well as far as who uses Spotify, Apple Music, or other. Just getting back to that, 50% Spotify, 22% Apple Music, 28% other.
More percent other.
So I'm curious who.
But it's worth 18 votes.
18 votes. Yeah, we're keeping
Don't tell them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not supposed to know about that part. But nonetheless, there is a pull up. That's what we got with that one.
It's just transparent. we're just being transparent, guys.
So we'll see where we're at with that one. About to go into we've got just a time for a couple more topics here really quick, and one I wanted to get to was this, talking about different ways of travel in the future. And obviously we started off with SpaceX and space exploration, what that's going to do, but drones are another way, and especially passenger drones, something that has been coming up more and more. And we've seen a lot of like the home contraptions that people put together, which do not look safe at all. And there is the CEO of a company called eHang, who has been developing a passenger drone, an autonomous passenger drone. I mean, it's a taxi, but really, I mean, it's a
We've
drone.
seen this
Am
at
I wrong?
CES the last like 3 years.
Yeah.
It was first debuted, I think, in 2015 at CES,
Sounds about right,
maybe 2016. But it's the idea behind it is it's a single-seater passenger drone that doesn't have any like onboard controls, at least when it rolls out in the future. Like potentially it won't have any controls that it don't have like a joystick or any like pedals. You seriously just get in it and it's like Uber. You just tell it where you want it to go and it'll fly you there. And the idea behind that is that if you could control it yourself, you would have to have a pilot's license in order to operate it.
Yeah.
But if the machine is doing all of the flying for you, you don't need that.
So you could just hop in somebody's contraption and go fly.
Yeah, I mean, it does involve a good bit of trust on your part.
Yeah.
This company has, crossed all of its T's and dotted all of its I's.
I look like I'm flying into that building, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it knows what it's doing.
That fire truck's kind of coming up on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Tesla's fault.
Well, and that's the CEO of eHang. He filmed the video that we were showing here if you're watching live. And again, we'll have that posted at digitaltrends.com too, to show his trust in his product. He got in, and essentially what it is, you get into this thing, you type your destination on whatever kind of screen they have there, and then that's it. Then it just flies you over to wherever you need to go, and you end up arriving at
I want to
your
go from this field to that field.
Yeah, they showed over the field. I doubt they were going to be allowed to fly over cities, although I think this was in China, so who knows.
Because they were talking about something like you would need like landing pads and stuff for this, right? Like, and probably like on tops of buildings.
Infrastructure before you can do this. Not to mention you need laws to change,
right?
Like in order to allow that sort of thing. So while like it's definitely progressing, clearly as you can see from the video, it's still a while. It's going to be a while before you can hop in a drone taxi.
How far out do you think we are from something like that? Because I know Uber's working on it. Also, there's a bunch of companies that were going to be launching. I thought in Dubai and Dallas, aren't they going to be testing different things out with I believe?
You probably know better than me because you've just been covering that every week.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I feel like we never miss an opportunity to talk about drone taxis.
Drone technology. I mean, it's really big. Yeah. So Uber is developing its own machine, which that's not surprising. But as far as I understand, Dubai at least is going to be testing out some of this stuff.
Dubai is all over the
Dubai does
They have like jetpack firefighters.
I know.
They got like Lamborghini cops. They got everything.
It's future world.
They are going to be
there.
the first place that gets drone taxis, and it's going to be able to take you to the top of the Burj Khalifa.
Well,
it's going to be sweet.
Let me ask you this: would you get in this right now?
No.
Right
with
now,
his
hell
demonstration?
No. Absolutely not.
You would not do it.
No.
I'm not an early adopter of things that can crash. That's just like that's a rule.
I'm surprised. I mean, you're saying you're not an early adopter. I mean, you have chips in your hand
of things that can crash.
You can't crash that. Like the worst that happens is it breaks and I have to cut it out with a scalpel, which granted would suck a little bit, but like I'm not gonna die.
Well.
All right. True. I mean, I would, as long as they kept it low off the ground. You know,
a couple feet, maybe.
That was the case.
10 feet. I'll take
I'll do
that
a little
thing.
hover, but I'm not gonna
Yeah,
go like
I'm not gonna go
across like a
flying.
cityscape.
Is there like an ejector
imagine how
seat with
cool
a
that would be, though.
parachute? Like,
Yeah, but
what are the safety features?
Yeah.
It would only be cool because it'd be like scary, you know. Like that's the only like you can get the same effect by like you having a pilot fly you in a helicopter safely from one end of the city to the other. If what you're after is views, go the safe route.
Yeah.
But what if you're after is just like danger? Yeah, sure, hop in the drone taxi.
I mean, looking at the design of that one specifically, it's like a quadcopter with a
Yeah.
cockpit on it. So what happens like if you run into a flock of birds or something, or
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna have to outfit this thing with all kinds of like environmental
Yeah.
sensors, like
Yeah.
Like, looking
full
at that
obstacle
right now-
avoidance capabilities.
looking at that right now,
Should probably
And
have
I
like rotor covers,
I
like
feel
something.
like it's just asking for somebody to shoot it down too.
Wow. Went really dark there.
that
real quick.
anti-drone gun. Just
Not like governmental on a government level, but like if you're hovering over a field or
Yeah.
over somebody's house and they don't know what it is, they just think it's another drone,
and you can shoot drones down there. Yeah.
or they think an
That's
Amazon
true.
package is going to fall out of you.
Yeah.
In the future.
Just
Yeah.
a gun lowers from the bottom of the drone taxi you're in and just decimates
sprays
the
the ground.
What is happening?
That's a glimpse into the future.
That's
There you
that's
go.
how it's going to be. The drone wars are starting at some point here.
The drone wars.
All right. Well, we will. That's more. You can read about that at digitaltrends.com. You can read more there. One other quick thing. This was breaking news that I think just came out earlier, just a couple of hours ago, is that if you have an Amazon Prime account and you are in certain cities, it's going to be rolling out across the U.S., I guess, over the next year. But if you're in Austin, Cincinnati, Dallas, or Virginia Beach right now, and you have an Amazon Prime account, you can order Whole Foods and have it delivered within 2 hours free of charge.
As
if you're
long
over
as,
$35,
yeah, as long as it's over
$35 is your minimum.
$35.
But one of the key things I saw is certain alcohols will be included in that. So you can order alcohol.
order booze from
You can
Amazon?
order booze from Amazon and have it delivered within 2 hours.
From Whole Foods.
From Whole
Certain-
Foods.
Yeah, Whole
certain
Foods.
alcohol.
It's got to be like free range,
It's-
fair trade, organic hooch.
And it's free if you have
It's like only the Zima we have will
Right.
deliver.
Or for
Kombucha.
$8 more, you can have it within 60 minutes. I'm just saying that is going to get used so much in college towns.
Oh,
totally.
yeah.
It's going to be like 10 frozen pizzas and a case of Pabst. You know, that's going to be delivered to wherever they sell
Does
a Whole Foods.
sell back?
I don't know. Probably not. That's probably
Or
whatever.
frozen pizzas.
What's your
right?
Yeah.
cheapest alcohol? Please deliver it. I think that's a pretty great.
Amazon
Oh,
keeps
yeah.
just sweetening the deal with that Prime membership.
The Prime
Man,
membership,
you
man.
get
Yeah.
music, movies,
It's a
2-hour
pretty-
delivery of all the kale chips you can
Whole
eat.
Foods free and free 2-day delivery. Like
I
that's
know.
what it started on, right?
That was-
Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
People got it just for that, and now
Yeah,
they just
right.
keep lumping stuff on top of that. God, I might have to just drink the Kool-Aid and get a freaking Prime subscription.
You can't
I'm
afford
surprised you
not to at
haven't
this
yet.
point.
Because I have friends that have them, and I can just be like, hey, dude, let me use your Prime account. It's like everything else. You
right,
just-
right, right.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
you gotta just find the right person. I have never played for Hulu. All right, so let's. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, this is Trends with Benefits. It's our weekly roundtable tech podcast, and we are available as an audio podcast. So subscribe to that. It's on iTunes or Stitcher, wherever you get podcasts. We will be there. Just hit that subscribe button so that way you get the download every week when it pops up. And we're live every Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific on YouTube and Facebook, so you can always join us there. We'll have polls up. We always want to hear what your questions, your comments are. Email us podcast@digitaltrends.com. We also have an article up at Digital Trends right now about how to stream the Olympics. Everywhere that you can watch the Olympics, because that is starting tomorrow. Well, tonight, I guess, technically.
Opening ceremony tonight, right?
Yeah, opening ceremony is tonight, so you can check that out all right there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another episode.